And for the same reason, I will recommend to don't read this book. आवाज करू नको! You should read this book to understand it. Hello everyone, I'm Monica and welcome to Expronica, your cozy corner for a mindful reflection, heartfelt stories and delightful recommendation. Before we move to the main topic of this video, I have one request to make. Please give your feedback on my videos because without your feedback, I cannot improve myself. आवाज करू नको! Because I cannot judge my own videos, because from the inception to the scripting to shooting and then editing, I am doing everything. So either I like that concept and that video a lot, or I hate it completely. I'm not able to judge the videos, and that's why I'm totally dependent on you. So give your feedback, like whatever it is. It can be positive or it can be negative, but just type your opinions in the comment section. If you don't want to give your feedback in the comment, you can DM me on my Instagram or you can mail me also. Everything is in the description, you can check it out. Another thing is, if you give your feedback, if you interact with the video, YouTube will push that video to more people. It will increase the footprint of the video and it will ultimately help me to reach out to more and more people. It will take less than a minute of yours to just subscribe to the channel, like the video and type your feedback. It's that simple. So please help me in that. Thank you so much. So now we come to the main topic. In this video I am going to talk about the Kafka's Metamorphosis. So basically, I was not aware that Franz Kafka is a writer. I used to come across his quotes on social media and I used to like that a lot. Then someday I heard from in some reel or in video that he is a writer and his books are very famous. And then I decided that I will order one book, and I ordered Metamorphosis. Look at the size of this book. This is so small. I thought it is a novel, so it will be a big book, but it is a novella. I learned this term just now, that novella is a book which is longer than a short story, but it is shorter than a novel. So it is a novella. It has exact 100 pages. First I thought I put a wrong order. It must be the synopsis of the main novel. But no, this is the book. I bought this book few weeks back, but I was just procrastinating to read this. Ultimately I picked this book on 13th or 31st of December. I thought in New Year I have to read so many books. Let's start today. And so I picked this book, and it was a completely wrong time to read this book. I will tell you why later in this part, in this video. Just listen to me. That was completely very wrong time to pick this book. At that one sitting, I almost read complete book. Just last 5 to 6 pages were left. Because I knew at that time what will be the end of this story. I was not ready to face the end, and that's why I stopped there. And last 5 to 6 pages I finished just 2 days back, and since then it has definitely triggered my lot of traumas. It has definitely messed my brain. It has definitely unsettled my feelings, and that's why I have to make this video as soon as possible, so that I will just speak it out, vent it out, everything, and I hope that I will feel the calm after this. So just listen to me today. Okay, I will give you a brief outline about the story. The main characters of this story, there are 4 main characters. First one is Gregor Samsa. He is the main lead, or we can say the main hero of the story. Then his father, his mother and his younger sister. Basically, Gregor Samsa is a salesman. His whole family is dependent on his earning. He is the sole breadwinner of this family. His family is in debt. His father suffered a huge loss in business, and since last 5 years he is not doing anything, just sitting at home. And Gregor Samsa is working hard to provide for his family. And Gregor hates his job because his job is very tough. But he cannot leave that job because Gregor's father took the loan from Gregor's boss. So he has to repay the loan. He cannot leave that job. And his mother is physically also very weak. Only doing household chores is a challenge for her. And his sister is just a 17-year-old. She don't have any idea of their real family conditions. So this is the premise of the story. And then one day Gregor wakes up and realizes that his whole human body has been transformed into a big monstrous insect. He has been transformed into insect. And that's when the story starts. He is transformed into a huge insect. When his family sees him in that very disgusting state, they are very shocked, they are traumatized. Slowly they try to digest the thing, and then when they come in terms with this new fact, the first challenge in front of family is who will earn for the family, how their family will survive. His father, who claimed that he has lost all money, actually has saved some amount of money from business, and Gregor was providing every month for a family, and that money also was not completely used. Some amount of money was saved, and that complete amount is a considerable amount which has also earned good interest. So basically his family can survive for a 1 or 2 year. And Gregor comes to know about this money when he overheard the conversation of family members. And Gregor just thinks to himself that father never mentioned this money. If he would have mentioned, he would have first repaid the loan. He would have just left that job and he would have done something different. But father never mentioned about this money in front of Gregor. So he was in the state of an insect also. He was constantly thinking about his family, how he can provide for the family. And when he comes to know about that there is some amount of money, he gets some relief. So in that state also, more than the shock, he is more worried about the family only. And then slowly that family, his father starts to earn money, his mother also start working side by side with handling the home. Then his sister also starts earning, and the story goes on and on. In between so many things happens. Meanwhile, Gregor is just confined in 4 walls of his room because his family don't want to know anyone else that there is living some insect. Maybe they might be feeling embarrassed or they don't have any answer to this thing. And so Gregor is just confined in his room. He had just cut off from the family also and from the society also. And from the family, no one can bear that visual of a Gregor. So no one is ready to come in his room to talk to him. They even cannot see directly to the Gregor. That's how much disgusting his state is. So he is completely cut off from the family. He is completely cut off from the outer world. And slowly the story goes on. And one day, because of his father's anger issue, he just throws the apple on the Gregor, and the apple hits very hard on the skin, which is the outer part of the insect. And slowly that injury gets very serious, and ultimately Gregor dies. And the end scene of this ending of this story is finally Gregor's mother, father and sister are free from this burden, and they are on the train. They are going to the new city, and they finally realize that they can talk to each other, because meanwhile when this incident happens, they have forgotten to do conversation with each other. And on that train they talk to each other. First time they talk about their jobs, and they realize that they are earning pretty well. Their future job perspective is also good, and they are finally entering in a new era of their life. They have this new energy to live now, and that's the end of a story. So when I finished reading this, I'm not able to comprehend the whole story. It is definitely not as simple as it looks. This story has so many layers, and for me it is not easy to decipher the meaning from the layers. So basically I am here to just express myself. I am not here to review Franz Kafka's writing. I am not here to summarize Metamorphosis. I am not able to do it because with my limited experience, with my limited brain, I cannot, it is not easy to understand the depth of Kafka's writing. And if I read this book after some time, I might have different meaning for different things. I might get influenced by different angle. I might discover new meaning to the story also. And that's why I'm not here to summarize. I'm just here to share with you what I felt, and that's it. I still managed to write few points about this story, and I'm just going to share with you. The first point is the how human beings are burdened with the expectations of others. Here Gregor sacrifices everything for his family, and he, even after converting into an insect, he just worried about his family. And it is not only about earning. The expectations in human life, expectations are not only that you should earn. The family's expectations or the society's expectations are also about how you should be, how you should behave, how you should think, what you should do in your life. So our role is determined by our family, or everything is determined about ourselves even before we are born. Our religion, our parents, our name, and what kind of role we should play in family or in a society, everything is determined by others, and we are constantly under pressure to fulfill those expectations. But sometimes we might realize those expectations, sometimes unconsciously we are just living for those expectations only. Second point here I want to mention is the Gregor's transformation from human body to the body of an insect is actually a metaphor. It can mean anything in human life. For example, if you are a breadwinner for your family and one day you meet with an accident and now you are bedridden, your physical body is transformed into something else through which you cannot serve your family, or your thought process is very different from your family. Your physical appearance or your mental state or your thinking process might not be according to your family or society. You are something different from what you are expected to be. That's the metaphor for his transformation from human body to insect body. And when this happens, when you differ from your role, what happens? Family or society alienates you. You are left alone. No one is ready to accept you. And this point actually triggered a lot of trauma, because in my life for a considerable time I have been through a silent treatment. I was, the meaning of silent treatment I hope you all know, because I decided to live my life on my own. I decided to take my decisions on my own, and that's why people surround me just alienated me. They left me alone. I was alone, surrounded by the people, and they just stopped taking into consideration my existence. I was in a room full of people, still nobody took into consideration that Monica is here. And I have been through those phases, and definitely when Gregor is in that state, his family is not ready to talk to him, his family is not ready to see him also. And it definitely, all those memories of those days where, they came on the surface. The third point I would like to say is that through this, writer emphasizes that you are as important as your role. We are living this life in a context. For example, if you are a child, then your role in the context of your parent is be a good child, earn good grades, behave very nicely, so that your parents' ego will get pampered. If you are in your youthful stage, you have to earn for your family, and how much you are earning will decide your importance for your family members. And that's how it is in society. You respect someone because he is sitting at a particular position. You talk to someone because that person can help you in particular situations. We are dealing with each other through the context of power, through the context of, in a short way, I can say the utilitarian approach. We are not relating with each other on the basis of being human. No, being human is not at all important. How much we can use each other is more important in the society. And the few people may say that whatever I am talking this is all nonsense. It doesn't happen. World is very kind. I would like to say that you are blessed and stay blessed. If you haven't seen this side of a world, then you are definitely blessed person and stay like that. So I would like to say that we are more utilitarian than humanitarian because we contact with each other, we relate with each other on the basis of utilitarian approach. And the last point I would like to say is that definitely this book again emphasized how much important it is to be kind to each other. Irrespective of what you are going through, in whichever state you are, we need to be kind with each other. We should be kind to everyone. We should not judge anyone by his situation or by his outer appearance or his mental state or any, because human life is so absurd that anything can happen with anyone, and this thing should be in our mind. We should be aware of this fact, and that's why we should be very empathetic to other. Also, this whole story again reminds us how we prioritize our convenience over kindness. We make relationship and we maintain relationship if it is very convenient, very convenient to us. We do not prioritize kindness. We don't have time to think about it only. If it is convenient for you, you can, proceed with it. So at the end, I have to give you few tips to read this book. First tip is, if you are going through a very fragile state of your mind, or if you are going through anxiety or a depression, or overall your life is not going so well right now, don't pick this book, don't read this book, because definitely this book is going to make you more unsettled. Second tip is, take proper time out from your daily routine to read this book. Basically, you will not require much time to read this book because this book is very simple, just 100 pages book, and size is also so small. You will finish this book in no time, but you will need a cooling down period after reading this book. So take that into consideration, time to read and some cooling down period, and then you can resume your daily life. Otherwise it can mess up with your mind, and it might get difficult for you. So that's why I'm telling you, just don't read this book on the go, like you are traveling and you are reading. No, take proper time out, focus on that book, read it, comprehend it, let all emotions cool down, and then you can resume your daily life. At the end, I would like to say, if you want to understand a very dark side of a human nature or human society, you should definitely read this book, because this book is going to open new angle of human nature in front of you. In general, we tend to, or we are forced to see the positive things about human being, because we are human. So we have biased nature when we think about a human being, but there are very rare pieces of a content which actually show a dark side of a humanity also, or human beings also, and this book is one of them. So definitely when you read this book, you will have a glance on the darker side of a human nature. And for the same reason, I will recommend to don't read this book, because once you know this side, you cannot ignore it. I heard it in a one-off video. Once you catch a Kafka fever, it is hard to get cured, and definitely your perspective is going to change. And for the same reason, you should read this book, and for the same reason, you should not read this book. I know that's contrary, but that's how it is. That's how human nature is. That's how human society is. I just want to share this with the world, and I hope this will just get drained from my system. So that's it from my side for today's video. If you like this video, press the like button. If you have read this book, comment down how you felt, your opinions, I'm eager to read comments. Then you can subscribe to the channel. I'm not understanding what I'm speaking right now, so just thank you so much. Bye.